just want to kick off first by unveiling Swamiji's new book. So if we could unveil it, please. Energizing Your Mind. Big round of applause, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Learn the Art of Mastering Your Thoughts, Feelings and Emotions by Gour Gopal Das. And we'll have the privilege of listening to him in just a moment. All those here that are his fans, follow him on social media, follow his sayings. All of you, raise your hand. That's fantastic. And hopefully we'll be able to take some of your questions also during the session. Swamiji, let's start off by talking about, you've written several books. So what prompted you to write this one? Energize Your Mind. What was the thought behind it? What drove you to decide that something new needed to be shared this time around?
Sure. First of all, thank you very much, Abha. And we're meeting just in a couple of weeks. We did the India Conclave together, and now here at Sahitya Tak. Great pleasure to meet you again. My gratitude to India Today for having me over again at Sahitya Tak. And my gratitude to everyone for coming here this evening. A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Big round of applause, guys. Come on. Woohoo!
So, what prompted me to write this book? John Milton once said something very interesting. He said that the mind can turn hell into heaven and heaven into hell. How many of us have had an experience that you were on a holiday, but somebody did something extremely upsetting to you and the holiday was ruined? You were in a heavenly place, and because your mind was upset, heaven turned into hell. And how many of you have had this experience that you're like crammed up in a economy seat, but you're with someone whom you love so much and you're having the best conversation of your life? Even in the most hellish situation, you had the best time? Brilliant. Brilliant. That's exactly what John Milton said. The mind can turn heaven into hell or hell into heaven. Let me tell you a story. While I was studying at the College of Engineering, Pune, we had a college canteen was on the banks of a river. When you have a cafeteria which is on the banks of a river, what an exotic place that could be, right? And we were sitting there. And the best thing that our cafeteria would offer us, our canteen would offer us, is samosas. How many of you guys love samosas? I mean, who in Delhi doesn't like samosas? Sorry. It's a wrong question to ask, So we ordered for a plate of samosa, my friend, me sitting there. And before the samosa came, this friend of mine was like super hyper. He was saying, what a fantastic day today. The weather's so great. And look at the beautiful ripples on the river. Like super hyper about everything's going great. And then the samosa came. He picked up the samosa, took the first bite, and he said, this is the best samosa I've had in my entire life. I said, this guy's really hyper today. Well, samosa roj khate hain hum log. And as he just bit into it and had taken like 3 bites, another friend came to us and he said, you know what? I said, what? He said, our results are out. Now, as soon as we said your results are out, we asked, so what happened to our results? So I had done well. He asked what happened to his results. And you know how results in India can be, exam results? Any youngsters know how pressurizing exam results can be? Like one boy was walking with his dad, college-going boy, and he got a message from his friend saying our results are going to be out in 5 minutes. The guy said, I'm walking with dad. अगर फोन उठा के पता लग गया फेल वेल हो गया तो इधर ही कुटाई होगी. So इसीलिए कोड लैंग्वेज में कम्युनिकेट करते हैं. If I fail in one subject, say good morning to you, I'll understand. If I fail in 2, say good morning to you and dad. In 5 minutes, he got a message saying good morning to you, dad, family and friends. I'll tell you. Exams are a nervous time, exam results. So while we were sitting there, this guy comes up and says our results. I was doing fine. This fellow, the samosa, the river, the ripples on the river, the beautiful weather, the karara samosa, the best in his life. So what happened to me? He said, you flunked in all subjects. अभी भी उसके हाथ में वो आधा समोसा ऐसा ही था. The weather was the same. The ripples of the river were the same. The samosa was the same, but now in the samosa, he was seeing his father's face. That I have to face my dad tonight. And that's when, and his face dropped because, it meant something to him. And that's when I got this point here that, when the state of your mind changes, the best things don't give you pleasure and happiness. When your state of mind is right, even the simplest things can bring joy. So that's why I felt it's important that we learn how to deal with the mind, learn how to master our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and that was the idea behind Energize Your Mind.
So, Swamiji, what do you think?
Thank you.
What do you think is the biggest pain point for the youth today? You're talking about exams and failure and studying. What do you think is the biggest point of anxiety, stress? Is it the digital age? Is it competing on social media? Is it trying to get a job? Is it trying to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend? What is the biggest stress today?
I think, how many of you guys here grew up hearing from your family or parents, look at that other fellow, how hard he studies and you don't?
Yeah.
How many of you grew up hearing this, look at your brother or your sister, how well behaved, and look at yourself? I am astonished at the bug in the way we were brought up. We were always told, look at others, never told, look at ourselves. When two Indian couples meet each other, the ladies are looking at each other's jewelry, and the guys are looking at each other's wives. I'm like, apni ko dekhna mere bhai. You look at your, why are you looking at somebody else's wife? Like one guy, he came back home, he had failed his exam. And his father is saying, Dekh, wo tere class mein meri padti hai na, usko dekh look ke. वो फर्स्ट आई है लुखे और तू फेल हो गया कैसे फेल हो गया द गाय सेड देख देख के फेल हुआ बिकॉज द फादर वाज सेइंग देख 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 कॉन्स्टेंटली आई एम लाइक अमेज्ड एट हाउ पीपल आर बीइंग टोल्ड कॉन्स्टेंटली लुक एट अदर्स नाउ ब्रिंग दैट concept of comparison looking at others in the social media age which is where all our youngsters are living in today where Instagram stories are all about where am I spending my holiday? Instagram stories are about how am I building my body? Instagram stories are about how I'm in the right size of my clothes. Instagram stories are about how I look well. Sometimes I feel when I'm constantly looking at what others are doing, I start feeling inadequate. I start feeling I'm not enough. मुझे लगता है कि मुझे enough होने के लिए मेरे बाइसेप बड़े होने चाहिए. मुझे लगता है कि मुझे इनफ होने के लिए मुझे साइज 0 होना चाहिए मुझे लगता है मुझे इनफ होने के लिए थोड़ा और लाइफ एक्साइटिंग होना चाहिए मुझे इनफ होने के लिए मुझे थोड़ा सिंगापुर हॉलिडे जाना पड़ेगा मुझे इनफ होने के लिए आई जस्ट नीड समथिंग मोर टू बी इनफ एंड दैट प्रेशर दैट स्ट्रेस ऑफ ट्राइंग टू बी समबडी एल्स हैज टेकन अवे द ऑथेंटिसिटी ऑफ आवर लाइफ And I feel what is the most required and most necessary to us is leading an authentic life. And the pressure comes from, social media is a great tool. You guys know me because I am there. मतलब मैं social media को गाली दूँ तो धंधा बंद. How can we do that? Social media is a great tool. We can spread the message, we can spread awareness, we can connect to people, we can grow our businesses, we can do so much. The issue is, when we get into that mode of looking at others constantly, how many of you, when you wake up, the first thing you do is look at your smartphones? Thank you. How many of you, when you go to bed, the last thing you see is your smartphone? Hannah? Can you imagine what this is doing, guys? I'm not saying don't use. I'm saying, but the more you look at the lives of others, you're going to think that your life is not exciting enough. Your life is not adequate enough. And trust me, you have everything in your life at the moment to live a satisfied life. If you learn to focus on your own self. But दूसरों के पास देखेंगे तो नहीं हो पाएगा. Thank you.
So I want to get a few questions in from the audience as well. So if anybody, there's lots of them, but the girl